communities and basically tackling crime at grassroots level. It makes sense, doesn't it?
I'm sorry, Bill, but, you know, the experience up and down this country from the people that I deal with is that the police aren't investigating crimes anyway. We only have to look up to places like Rotherham when there's been endemic child abuse over many years, and it seems that's breaking in the press there's been police complicity in it. I think what we're finding here, Bill, is a crisis in policing. Leicestershire Police announcement today is that some 20% of their police force is going to be directed away from investigating crime. Now, surely the British public think that the most basic duty and responsibility of the police is to investigate crime and bring offenders to justice.
But they're doing that. They're doing that. They've got a specialist unit investigating crime, and they're getting the on-the-beat officers out on the streets to be visibly there with the community.
Well, these are very highly paid police officers who've got powers of a constable, and quite frankly, I think that's a waste of police resource. I don't think it's going to sit well with the actual police officers who do want to go out there, who do want to investigate crime, and who do want to bring offenders to justice. I really don't think that it's going to cut the mustard with those. And in terms of this sort of bogus austerity that we're all having to deal with here in the UK, we're told that this is a way of saving money, some £10 million in Leicestershire Police and various police forces up and down the country who are trying to supposedly save money. Yet we hear time and time again of mass cover-up of things like, which are actually crimes against the British public, things like Hillsborough, the blacklist against workers here in this country, and public inquiry after public inquiry. How many millions is that costing?
Well, but as you've just said, they've got to save money and they've got to look at alternative approaches. And it seems that this is a realistic approach, bearing in mind the budget cuts.
I don't think that there really is an issue. I think it's not a resource issue with the police, it's a misdirection of resource. You've got police who are, I don't know, following and putting journalists under surveillance, people like Mark Thomas, who's now taking court action against the Metropolitan Police because he and another number of journalists were being put under investigation because they spoke and were critical of the police. Is that a useful use of police resourcing in this country?
But what about the fact that crime rates are supposed to be at a record and an all-time low throughout the country? Does that not mean that, in fact, what's happening with Bobby's on the beat, neighbourhood policing is actually tackling the root of that?
Bill, I think that's hit the nail on the head. You've got people like police officer James Patrick, who spoke to the Home Affairs Select Committee and spoke about the way in which the police are bending the figures to try and show that crime is falling in this country. It's simply not the case. They're just recategorising or not investigating. People who turn up, and I've seen it personally, people who turn up at police stations reporting real crimes, real evidence crimes, being told it's a civil matter, go away and speak to a lawyer. Now, Leicestershire Police, who've got a massive stain on them in the Fiona Pilkington case, when they're talking about protecting the public up in Leicestershire, Fiona Pilkington was a woman who looked after her disabled child, who was subjected to years and years of abuse, what they call antisocial behaviour. In reality, they're things like criminal damage and assault against this woman over many years. They did nothing. And in the end, that woman took her life and took the life of her child.
Michael, we'll leave it there. Michael Doherty, thank you very much indeed.
Pleasure.
UK. We're back at 9 o'clock.